Hello, we're here in the Lawyer's Loft, and I am attorney Freddie Stokes at the Carter Law Firm. I am here with attorney Jerome Carter and attorney Moshe Moore, and today we're going to talk about estate planning for young adults. And one of the most important tools of anyone, but especially young adults, is having a will. And a will is a document titled Last Will and Testament that essentially lays out what an individual wishes are upon their death. In the state of Alabama, an individual creating a will must be at least 18 years old. In addition, that will must be in writing. That individual should have created that will in sound mind and free from any improper influence. It is also good lawyering to make sure that that will is self-proving, meaning that that will can be admitted to probate court without any additional delay with testimony by simply having it notarized and witnessed by two adults.
Well, here's the issue, Freddie. Once we start talking about young folks,
Right.
how many young people do you really know who think that a will is important?
None, and that is the issue, Carter, is that we have these individuals who are unfortunately passing away, and they don't have anything stating what their wishes are upon death, and they're leaving behind children and assets that has to go through intestate succession, which is a much more difficult process if only they had created a will. And you can get a simple will for as cheap as $50 to make sure that your assets as well as your children are protected throughout this process.
I think a very particular misunderstanding, since we're talking about young adults, there is this assumption that you don't have anything to write a will for because you don't have anything. You don't have property. You don't have assets. And people think that they can't put their wishes in their will as it relates to their children. So what are those issues that a person with no assets and no money, no liquid assets either, why would they need to write a will anyway?
I wish you would ask me that question instead of Freddie, because I have an answer for it.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't direct it towards anybody.
Freddie, let me just share from my experience. Because I tell this story all the time. I tell the story all the time. I'm stealing this from Freddie because I like this issue.
Yeah. And we're still taping. Go ahead.
But here's the issue. I had a gentleman who was, in essence, his death was caused by somebody else. Now, he was married, lived with his spouse for literally a day. They separated, went their separate ways. 25 years later, he was killed. He had sons, not of the wife.
Right.
He had no relations, no contact. She actually, this wife, was actually living with another man and had children with him. There was never that process of a divorce. In Alabama, there's no such animal as a common law divorce.
Right.
So what we had was a situation where who's going to be the person to bring the wrongful death lawsuit? Here it is, and why you need a will at every level of age where you can have a will, because you want to direct who's going to be in charge and who's going to get what. And in that very sad, very unfortunate circumstance where that case concluded, that wife took her representative share of that estate, taking a large chunk of the money that was truly intended for his sons.
That's unfortunate, but the priority in Alabama intestate law is that the surviving spouse is first.
Right.
So even 25 years later, far removed, no communication, no contact, and those are the outcomes that you need to protect against. So not just your current state of affairs, but potential claims, potential litigations, potential lawsuits, and protecting the interests of your heirs, your children. And also, sometimes there are some custody matters that you can write into your will. Now, you cannot will away your children.
Right.
You can't do that. Especially
Unfortunately.
Especially if, there's the other parent that's ready and willing. However, with children who don't have that other parent, and then the only parent that they did have passed away, it would be guidance for us and for the courts if the mom or the father that had custody did include something in the will about what they wanted to occur with those children. who they would like to file for guardianship, or who they would like to have filed for conservatorship and things of that nature. So those things are important as well. It's not just about assets.
And one of the things that prevent young people from creating a will is the fact that they are young, and they tend to think, man, I'm signing my name in concrete. But that's really not the case. Once you create a will, you can change that will 100 times thereafter, as long as you, of course, remain older than 18 and of sound mind and free from improper influence. You can change that will as you wish.
Right, and in addition to not wanting to sign this seemingly permanent legal document, which can change whenever you get ready, we can testify to that people come in to change their wills all the time.
You have no idea.
but beyond that,
frequency of changes.
But beyond that, young adults, we tend to have this air of invincibility. We think that things can't happen to us, that death for us is way down the line. And I can tell you, as well as you probably already know, we're seeing things happen, especially in our communities every day, where young people are passing away. And these young people that are passing away, we're leaving children, we're leaving things, we're leaving unprotected potential litigation in our wake. We're leaving those things behind, and we need to speak to those things, because even though you may have passed away, or I may have passed away, or whomever, but you leave trouble for people who love you, and you leave stress for people who care about you, and you leave children with uncertainty. So planning for everybody is very important, but I think it's even more so important for young people.
Absolutely. And another thing too is, we don't have a will, we pass away, and then we have no say-so in what happened to our estate. And your estate can be $1, it can be one pair of shoes, or $100,000, or 100 pair of shoes, but you have a say-so in what happened to your property. Whether we like it or not, every individual who is a citizen of the state of Alabama, we have a will. It's just, unfortunately, the will that the state of Alabama has written for us. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I don't want legislators in Montgomery deciding what happened to my assets. I want to take that power into my own hands and just create a simple document stating where my assets will go.
All right, so we're talking about probate law and estate planning for young folks. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back.
If you have been charged with a crime, call us today. We will protect your rights and fight with and for you. This, I promise. I am committed to getting results. I am committed to your defense.
Millions of conversations will happen today, but there's one that few of us have had. A conversation about the care we want when we're seriously ill or nearing the end of life. Sharing your wishes with friends, family, and care providers now and as life changes may improve quality of life at the end of life, both for you and for the ones you love. This conversation may be difficult, but wouldn't you rather have it now, before a crisis? It's time to have the conversation. A message from the Institute of Medicine.
Going through a divorce, custody battle, or having issues with child support, I'm attorney Moshe Moore, and I'll stand with you, but also in front of you. Effective, aggressive, and focused. Come see me today at 2561 Dolphin Street.
Welcome back here at the Lawyer's Loft, and I'm here with attorney Jerome Carter and attorney Moshe Moore. We're discussing the importance of estate planning for young adults.
It's very important. It's very important that young folks understand. Let me put it this way, that us young folks.
Yeah.
Notice how you left me out last time.
I did not.
Young folks kind of cut me out of the young folks part of it.
We.
I'm putting myself in the young folks category.
Yeah.
But it's imperative that you think through the issues. Whether you're single, whether you're married, everyone has an estate. Everyone has an estate. So whether it has anything that you think of as value or not, you have an estate. When you pass away, an estate will exist. How you manage it is the thing. Now, the majority population has been using and taking advantage of probate processes and wills for 400 years. We now have to make sure that we're educating young folks that the right thing to do is to plan forward. To plan forward. We all go to church, and we know that tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us. So we got to do the work to make sure that We are educating
Right.
folks listening and
Right.
watching that you should take 30 minutes. I promise you. You could come to this firm, you speak with Attorney Stokes. 30 minutes later, he will have the information necessary for you to walk out of here with.
Absolutely.
It's just that simple.
And it's
Absolutely.
about
that
being
simple.
proactive. Unfortunately, when you've passed away, you can't react.
Yeah.
So you need to be proactive in all aspects of life, but especially in this situation because once you pass away, other people can make those decisions for you and for your estate.
Absolutely, and we want to make sure that as we prepare to close, you all understand the importance of making sure you have a will with young adults, period, but especially young adults as well. Welcome back. We're here at the Lawyer's Loft. I am attorney Freddie Stokes of the Carter Law Firm, and I'm joined by managing partner Jerome Carter and attorney Moshe Moore. We have been discussing the importance of estate planning for young adults. As always, if you have any questions, you can contact us at 2561 Dolphin Street here in Midtown Mobile. You can reach us by phone at 251-433-6500. We are always here. We're always open and welcoming you into our law firm. Thank you for watching.